If you are a bit of an OCD, this video is going to make you super happy because you're going to learn how you can align your DocuSign fields together and also how you can align the text contained in the DocuSign fields with the text that's in the underlying document in your DocuSign envelopes and your DocuSign template. And if you're completely new to DocuSign and want to get some tips on how to get started and up to speed quickly, you can download my free DocuSign cheat sheet. You can find the link in the description down below. It will help you get started with DocuSign fields, recipients, templates, and all of that stuff so that you can use it the way it's supposed to be. Without further ado, let's just dive in and see how you can align your fields together. But the very first thing you want to do before you start playing with the fields is that you want to sign up for a free DocuSign developer account. The reason you want to sign up for a free developer account is because DocuSign is not going to give you the envelopes for free if you decide to send yourself test envelopes to test whether the alignment is correct or not. So you don't want to do this in your production account. You want to create a free account that is going to allow you to send as many envelopes as you can. Don't get too excited. The envelopes are all going to be watermarked. I saw you there. You can't use that account for real life. You just use it for testing purposes. So go ahead and check out my video on how to create and use a developer account if you haven't done so first. And once you've done that, then you can start playing with the fields. Now, the thing you need to be aware of also is that you're never going to get the alignment 100% right. If you want your documents to look 100% polished, then you need to create them outside of DocuSign. So maybe in Microsoft Word or Google Docs, particularly if you want to get the text contained in the field aligned with the rest of the text on the underlying document. It isn't going to be possible. Just want to sort of manage your expectations here. Let's start by how you would actually align the fields, the text contained in the field, with the document, with the text that's in the document. So let's just say that I want to align my field here where something is written in there, and I want to align this. I want to align this on that line, with that line here. So what I would do is I would drag my field and then I would place it somewhere as close as possible. I wouldn't try to make it perfect on the first go. So I'll use my mouse to drag and drop the field where I want it to go. And then I would zoom in as much as possible. And then I'll use my keyboard. The reason I use my keyboard is because if you try and find the perfect alignment with your mouse, you're kind of moving the field horizontally and vertically at the same time with your mouse. If you use your keyboard instead, then you have more control over where the field is moving, because you can't move the field to the right and up at the same time with your keyboard. You need to press only on one key. So if you press up and down, then you know that you're not screwing the left or right alignment. So you can see here it's okay, but it's not perfect. We can clearly see that the something is slightly under the states word. So if I want to get it even better, what I would do is I would try to use the pixels from the top value. So this allows you to choose pixel by pixel how far this field is going to be from the top and how far it's going to be from the left. So here, if I want my field to be a tiny bit above where it currently is, then I'm gonna remove a digit from pixels from top and I'm gonna say 191. And that's it. So that allowed me to gain 1 pixel, which I wouldn't have been able to do using my up or down key, because that moves fields 2 pixels by 2 pixels each time. So that's how you would want to align fields with the text of the document. Now, something you need to be aware of, and it's kind of super annoying, I'm just going to admit that, is that you're not going to be able to get the text field aligned with other fields perfectly. Actually, if you want to align a text field with a drop-down field, it's okay, you can do it. So the way you do this is you select both of your fields, and then you're going to use the field aligning tools using one of those 4 little icons here. So because I want to select field to move up and be on the same line as my something, then I'm going to use the align to the most top. And what it's going to do is going to look at all the fields I have selected. You could do this with this field, you could do this with this field as well. So it's going to look at all the fields that you have selected, identify the one that is to the most top, bottom, right, left, and then use that particular field at the most top in our example, and then use this as a baseline and move all the other fields up or down or right or left. So because the field that's to the most top is the field something, then if I click on that, all my fields are going to be aligned with my something field. You can see that the word something and the word select are pretty much aligned together. Actually, I think this is a 9, and that's a 9 as well. Is this Arial? Okay, let's make this Arial. So if I zoom back in, we can see that the word select, actually if I use this, is actually perfectly aligned. So your text fields and your drop-down fields, most of the time, they are going to be aligned together. But you always want to make sure that you align to the top, because, actually let me zoom back. So if you want to align your two fields or something and select, if you align both fields and select the bottom alignment, the fields, yes, are going to be aligned in terms of the outer line is going to be aligned, but not the text that's inside of it. And what we care is the text, not the outer line of the field. And the reason for this is because if you look at this field, height is slightly bigger than this one. And when you use the bottom alignment, it takes into account the height of the field. But if you use the top alignment, then it goes by the word rather than height of the fields. So you always want to align your fields using the top aligning tool rather than the bottom aligning tool. And if you want to align multiple fields together at the same time, this is basically how you do it. So let's just say that my address had one field here, and one was there, one was there, and one was there. The way I would, let me get rid of this. The way I would quickly fix the alignment for all these fields is by fixing the vertical alignment. So I'll select them all, and then I will want them to be aligned to the one that's to the most left. And then I'll zoom in and I'll say, okay, cool. Well, it's actually kind of perfect. The alignment is kind of okay. And then I will go one by one and fix the horizontal alignment. So I'll zoom in, I'll click on that one, and I'll use my up key and I'll go up. And by the way, you always want the text to be slightly over the line, not too close to the line, otherwise it's hard to read on the burnished document. And then I'll do the same thing for all my other text. So this one is too high, so I'll go down, down, and actually a little up. And you see, by using my arrow keys up and down, I'm not screwing the vertical alignment, because if I do this with my mouse, then you can clearly see that some fields aren't aligned. So I'll need to do it again and then align to the left, and that's it. Now, this one actually is too close to the line, and this one as well. So that's basically how you align your fields together in DocuSign. Now, one thing you need to be aware of is that although you can align horizontally text fields and drop-down fields together, as I was showing you before, you're never going to be able to align text fields with other kinds of fields that contain text. So for example, if we look at the automated fields or date signed, name, email, company, and title, these fields, you're never going to be able to align them perfectly if you want them to be on the same line as a text field. And I know it sucks, but this is the reality. Even if you use the top alignment, DocuSign will pretend, yes, pretend, lie to us and tell us that, you know, I mean, when we look at it, we think everything is aligned and everything's going to look perfect. But in reality, it's not true. When you send the document, you're going to see that date sign will actually print the text a few pixels more down. The email will be pushed to the right. I don't know. You just can't get them aligned perfectly unless you spend a lot of time sending an envelope to yourself to see where the field land on the actual burnished document, and then you adjust. If you're like me, you care a lot, maybe too much, about how your documents are going to look. What I personally do is that I align my field as best as I can in the template, and then I will send an envelope to myself and sign it and fill out all the fields that I can. And then I will have on my two screens, on one screen I'll have the PDF, so the burnished document. On my other screen I'll go back in the template and then I look at the completed PDF, and then I go, okay, so that could go like 1 pixel more up or 1 more down, 1 right, 1 left. And then I'll go back in the template, and at the same time I go to the locations tab, and then I'll say this one, you know, needs to be like 1 pixel more to the left or 1 pixel more to the right. So that's basically how you can align your fields to create polished documents in DocuSign. I hope this was helpful. If you want more help with this, you can find the link in the description down below, or don't forget to download the cheat sheet. And until next time, my friends, happy signing. Bye.